What's up, Western world, or China, Europe, wherever you may be watching out there in the big, beautiful galaxy. Thanks for finding us here on the OH.Report video podcast, your one-stop shop for everything from local sports to pop culture. Got some great videos along the way, and even a special guest and a secret here in this mystery box that we'll unveil. We'll show you what's going on in here. My name is Brian Skronsky. I'm going to be hosting for most of the show today, but we got the whole gang here with us. So let's go around the world and introduce yourselves. Let's begin up here front left.
I'm Storm Blunchley, or Bunchy, or whatever you want to call me, and there's nothing really new, I don't think, in the Bunchy land. So give it off to you, bub.
Yeah, my name's Garrett. A lot of people call me G-Man. Actually, I have a nickname for my family called Bear, so I really don't go by Garrett. So, fun fact about me, G-Man, Bear, or Garrett.
Travis, Hayden?
I'll go. Travis has a lot of nicknames, so we might be here for a while. I guess mine here has just been Phone Pole or Stream Bean, but you can choose whatever you want, I guess.
Oh, choose your own adventure. Okay.
And I am Travis, Big League, K-Mac, Trav,
Big Mac.
Berardi, Big
Travis.
Mac, as you
Teabag.
saw in the G. That's not nice. Anyway, and get ready for everybody's size. It's Brawl Week. Mountaineers Pit, Thursday night. Heinz Field, Acusure Stadium, wherever,
Excuse me?
but I'll be there in attendance as the Mountaineers going to go 1-0.
Cool. All right. So every week here on the OH Report, we cover a lot of football games, and then we put all of our top plays and our favorite athletes' performances into a big bowl. We serve them up to you, and then you decide what is the best of the best. So without further ado, let's meet the nominees for our top plays of the week for Week 2. Week 2's Friday Night Phenoms, all presented by Adena Corporation, coming at you right now. Phenom number 1 makes his second appearance on the list in as many weeks. It's Crestvew's Addison Raymer making the pack of dogs look silly down at Chet Looney. Raymer totaled 14 carries for $144, 3 scores, as the Cougs ran away with this one 35-0. What was the driving force behind Raymer's big game, G?
Well, Brian, you got to tip your cap to the Crestview offensive line, but this dude has been on a mission throughout the first 2 weeks of the season. He's been dominating, and he dominated the Redbirds last week. Now he dominated the Dogs. I'm sure you're not going to be done seeing him here on the Phenom list this season.
Doesn't matter what creature it is, whether by sky or by land, Raymer getting it done. That's why he's on the Phenoms list yet again. At Phenom number 2 is Pleasant's Owen Lowry, who secured the Spartans their first win of the season after wiggling and weaving his offense past Winford 8-0. Lowry aired it out for 86 total yards on 5 completions. Despite the night revolving around defensive dominance, Lowry stole the show with his 1-yard TD scramble to royally flush away the Royals' hopes of winning as the Spartans get the W.
Yeah, Brian, don't let numbers mislead you. Just like that play you just saw, Lowry had a few other plays that could have resulted in scores that the wide receivers just didn't haul in. But you can tell he's a leader, knows how to place the ball, has a good arm on him. So exciting things for the Spartans as they look to build off their first win.
Moving on to our third nominee, and it's Hillsdale QB Jake Haverstock, who nearly flew the Falcons out of Belleville with a victory over Lucas. He threw for 247 yards while conducting 2 perfect 2-minute drills for his 2 touchdown passes.
And if it wasn't for a lot of pressure by the Lucas defensive ends, he probably could have had 400 yards passing. This kid can drop dimes anywhere he wants to. He had 4 passes completed over 25 yards for Hillsdale, who just once again come up a point after try short of tying the Lucas Cubs.
Next up on our list on our Phenom Countdown is Wadsworth senior QB Luke Fisher, who had fans thinking they bought a ticket to SeaWorld instead of a football game because this one was just a big fish show. Posting an impressive 13 of 16 passing display for 247 yards and 2 touchdowns. What impresses you most when you gaze into the fishbowl, Storm?
Well, it's no Marshall Shepard, but, it is kind of fishy. 247, the stats don't lie, 2 touchdowns in a big win over Worcester in convincing fashion. This guy, he's a special quarterback, and we don't get to see him that often, but he's a good talent.
Winters is coming at Phenom number 5, Shelby Jr. Skylar Winters, who was icing Lexington on both sides of the rock, snatching the bird straight out of the sky and taking it back for a score to set the early tone. And he had so much fun playing in the pay dirt, he found not one, but 2 more exciting ways crossing the goal line with a pick six, a rushing touchdown, and a receiving score as the Whippets boat race their cross-county rivals 53-21. Skylar Winters 3 times into the end zone in 3 different ways. Those are your placeholders. Those are your Friday night phenoms from week 2 of the high school football season. So clearly my producer just so excited about the phenoms. He couldn't wait, guys. We had to get right into them. But I promise there are top play nominees as well. Should we just go ahead and show them to the people?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Send
Here
it.
they come. These are your top plays of the week from week 2 of the high school football season. All the best of the best from right here in North Central Ohio. Our first nominee comes from at number 4 out of Crestview. Addison Raymer takes the 71-yard touchdown run back to the house, basically untouched, looking like a cheetah in the open field and leaving the dogs in the dust. G-Man, is Raymer going to be the workhorse that the Cougars need to replace Connor Morris?
Well, he definitely looks like it. Raymer through 2 games has the Cougars 36 out of the 84 points that they've scored. The dude's on a mission. He shows off tremendous agility night in and night out, and Raymer has the ability here to be something special for the Cougs.
Take one more look here as he catches the edge and flies so fast ain't nobody gonna catch him. Comment number 1 for that kid. Top play number 2 nearly never happened, but look at this shifty shake. The Galleon's Elijah Chafin throws down a carry, bringing out all the boys to the yard, and he's gonna churn them up like smooth butter. Throwing devils on skates as he skirts his way for a 50-yard tutty. We're going to slow it down for you here in a bit so that you can see the sweet, sweet sauce that covers half the field. A little bit slower now, a little bit softer now. But Carey, getting the win in this game, Tigers, though, would make the top play countdown for a 2nd straight week. Just nasty. At number 3, we head out to the Valley where Hillsdale's down by 7, less than a minute left, and Mr. Clutch, Jake Haverstock, reaches into his pocket, pulls out a dime and throws it to Max Vesper for a 36-yard score that would pull the Falcons to within a point. But
For the 2nd straight year, the point after try, no good. This time, a wide right extra point. Lucas escapes, but you will see a lot more of that from Haverstock to Vesper this season.
at numero cuatro, it's the dude who just broke Lexington's school record for longest touchdown run ever. And he's back up to his big plays ways, catching the edge, then slipping between a pair of defenders like the melty marshmallow dripping off of a s'more. And he's going to munch up all the graham cracker crust on his way into the end zone. 77 yards for the Minutemen touchdown. This kid is fast. He's got eagle-eye vision. Look for him to keep on smashing records like Travis smashes cheeseburgers combos
You're darn right.
during his afternoon runs. At top play number 5, Pleasant powering their way into the top plays as Spartan sophomore Owen Lowry delivers a jaw-dropping 57-yard deep ball to receiver Caden Burner, who reels in the longest offensive play of the evening and sets up the Spartans to score their lone touchdown to put away Winford 8-zip.
Pleasant having to lean on Lowry here in this defensive dominant game. Just drops it right into the breadbasket. This would set up the touchdown that they needed to give themselves a little bit cushion. Pleasant gets their first win.
At number 6 we go, and we've got the Fish throwing a dart to Aaron Keating, who is eating and beating Worcester with his speed like a ghost in heat. Going 78 yards all the way to Pater to make this one 28-zip early. This is still the second quarter.
Yeah, Aaron there, Keating turning on the afterjets, switching it to 5th gear all the way to the end zone. We're going to see a lot more of his partner in crime, the Fish, when we talk about our phenoms. But Keating, an absolute dash to the end zone.
Eating up the secondary as he dashes his way in for 6. Our final nominee is the final thing I'd ever consider doing if I was an opposing punter, but hey, play with fire and get burned, especially by this scorcher. Tigers punt returner Keontae Bradley straight sizzling the Hoover coverage squad, scooting 93 yards down the near sideline to slather some sweet, sweet icing on a senior high victory cake as Mansfield cruises to a 42-9 win over the Vikings, just like Bradley cruised on this play. And Travis, I know it excites you, not just on the playing surface, but check out the sideline.
Watch this lineman just take off in celebration down here. What an effort by him.
And what an effort by you, the fans. Make your voice heard. Vote now by commenting for your favorite play below. So clearly, boys, a lot of great-looking plays, a lot of awesome performances through 2 weeks of the high school football season. Can you believe it's already week 3?
Wow. It just flies every
It
year,
goes too
doesn't
quick.
It seems like we're just getting started, but I guess a long way to go, expanding playoffs and all that. But, guys, sometimes you just got to call in the big guns here on the OH Report. You can't play games, and you just got to bring out the big box. You got to call in the big guns. So what we're going to do here today, and we don't use this very often, is I'm going to dial up not just any sports reporter, but we're talking about the sports reporter of the year for the state of Ohio. Do you guys understand? That's true greatness.
Big stuff.
So when I dial ~0, it means that's right. Curt Conrad's going to be on the line. He's in the building. Can we give him a big round of applause? And I'll give you your mic back, Hayden. I'm going to step out of the way. Gentlemen, grill him. This guy is the best of the best.
Welcome in, Mr. Conrad. How you doing today?
I'm just fine. Thanks for having me, guys. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you on here. Let's get right into it. First, you were at the Valley as well, watching the game that you saw live and free on the OH Report, Hillsdale-Lucas, but we know the reason why it was moved there, the travesty that happened on Friday night in between the field getting ripped up by a UTV. Do want to give a shout-out before we get into it to the Clear Fork Athletic Department, to Taylor Eisman and the Lucas Athletic Department, to all the fans, all the players. That was one heck of a ball game, and it was a playoff atmosphere, even though it wasn't at Lucas. And also, we still have a donation page Brian has set up. We'll have it shared onto the OH Report page here later after the show, but already over $2,000 raised to help, get the facilities fixed back up there at Lucas. But I don't know if you could break this down and give us any more details into what happened, and has anything happened since the...
Well, I've just begun to investigate it just a little bit. I spoke to the Sheriff's Department this afternoon. Now, they do have someone in custody. I'm not prepared to name any names just yet until I go over the report a little bit more. But, yeah, it really was a unfortunate situation. I mean, it's, down in the Valley there, in Lucas, they take their football very seriously, and to not be able to play that game at home, I'm sure was disappointing for a lot of different reasons. But like you said, I mean, a lot of people rallied around and made that happen Saturday night in a relatively quick period of time. I mean, they got that game scheduled in less than 24 hours, which is saying something. And athletic departments for both schools, all 3 schools really, Hillsdale included. I mean, I'm sure Hillsdale would have said, yeah, come on over and play your home game at our place. I'm sure Lucas didn't want it. What it turned out to be is more like a playoff game. It was a neutral setting, and those are 2 teams that are in the same region. I mean, those are 2 teams that could potentially be playing in week 12, week 13, because if you were there, those are 2 very good Division 7 football teams. So it's I think they made the best out of a bad situation.
And it did feel like a playoff game there. The stands were packed.
Yeah.
You're playing. Normally, you'll have these playoff games played on turf and back and forth. I mean, it went down to the wire. You just saw on the play and the phenom Haverstock perfectly thrown ball into the end zone, just a missed extra point. But I guess your takes on the game. It felt like week 12 and week 2.
Oh, absolutely. And again, those are 2 teams that I don't know who I was speaking to that night, but I said these very much look like 2 teams that could challenge for a regional championship. The region has gotten shaken up a little bit. There's no Dalton in there, who beat Lucas last year. They moved up to D6. That Warren JFK is still out there and lurking, but those are 2 teams that I would think that would be in the mix. A lot of talent on both sides of the field there. Lucas does what they do. They like to run it, and Hillsdale, they can throw it around a little bit. They got some guys, and they did a nice job, and that league prepares them for anything they encounter. Lucas clearly plays a very tough schedule to get ready for the postseason. The Wayne County Athletic League, where Hillsdale is, that's Norwayne, who roughed up Ashland in week 1, and they got Dalton in there, and there's a lot of really good small school football played in that conference.
Well, Curt, I want to talk about Mansfield a little bit, about their blowout win over Hoover. What did you think about the game, and did you think Mansfield was going to really go in there and kind of dominate the way they did?
Beating a Norwalk team that is kind of in the middle of a rebuild is one thing, as Senior High did in week 1. To beat a North Canton Hoover team, and Hoover is kind of in a rebuild too, but to beat them the way they did, especially in that second half, I think that opened a few eyes, certainly around the region. Division III, Region 10 is where Senior High is. They won it a couple years ago in 2019 when they played for a state championship. I would think that they are certainly going to be in the mix again this year. This one coming up is, there's a lot of people excited. Senior High will host Massillon this week. It'll be the 53rd 53rd meeting, which, I mean...
It's been a while.
Yeah, it has. It's been since 2005. Senior High's last win was in '98. They beat them 21-0. I was fortunate enough to cover the game in 2001. That was a Senior High loss. It was 17-14. A kid named David Abdul from Massillon, who was a kicker and went to Pitt. Kicked a 54-yarder, and that turned out to be the difference in the game. The announced attendance for that game was 11,000 people. Wow. If they can get 11,000 people up the street here on Friday night, it's going to be fun.
I've heard rumors that 6,000 tickets have already been sold.
And I'm sure that a lot of those tickets, I shouldn't say, but Massillon,
they do travel.
Massillon travels well. Yeah. Hopefully the Senior High side will be full. I mean, I got a chance to see Massillon a couple times last year. Now, granted, that's last year's team. They played 2 playoff games at Arlen Field last year. Yep. Very talented. That comes as no surprise. There's not going to be any shortage of athleticism on the field on Friday night. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of guys who are going to go play college on Saturday afternoons, playing this Friday.
And, I mean, looking past Massillon, but this Mansfield senior team, it seems like this is one of the best teams they have at least since the state finals team.
Oh, sure. I mean, talent-wise, when you lose guys like, Avion and Angelo Gross, I mean, those guys are impossible to replace. But, I mean, Senior High generally never has a shortage of skill position guys. What the 2019 team had in the 20 years that I've covered them that I never saw was the amount of offensive, defensive linemen. That's unusual. I mean, they had 3 guys who went on to play Division I college football, that are playing Division I college football. This group, linemen, I don't think they're quite there yet. They're a little young still, but they're pretty good. I mean, and clearly they found something the last couple of weeks because they've been able to run the football.
I know you brought up those 2 games that the Massillon played at Arlen last year. I was also at those games, getting to make highlights for those. But one guy who emerged, and I believe will be their starting quarterback this year, Jalen Slaughter for Massillon. And now you have Duke Reese doing his thing for Mansfield Senior. Do you kind of think that it will be more of a battle through the air or on the ground?
I think, and Chioke Bradley's history, Mansfield Senior's coach, he's always been a guy who likes to establish the run. Even that 2019 team when they had Angelo Gross and Cyrus Ellerby, and I mean, they had a bunch of guys who caught a bunch of passes, but they still had a 1,000-yard back in Terrence Flickinger, and that's how they want to essablish the run to kind of set up the pass. And I think you'll see that again this Friday night. They'll try and get something going. And Ricky Mills has been running the football real well for them. I mean, they have some guys who can carry the ball. So I think they'll try to establish the run before they start throwing it all over the place.
And they also have height at wide receiver. Yeah. I mean, they have 2 tall guys that Duke can just throw up to. I mean, it's a complete football team that they have.
Yeah, absolutely. You have Keontae Bradley. You have Amar Davis, who's not a real big guy, but he's very shifty. He's very athletic. And then you have Lala Owens, if you see Lala Owens, he absolutely looks the part of a college football player. He's all of 6'6" and probably 200 and some odd pounds. And I mean, when you watch Lala run, it doesn't look like he's running real fast, but people just keep getting further and further away from him. He's just pulling away, and he makes it look effortless. So it's going to be fun to watch.
And then also on Friday, talking about a lot of teams that have these histories together and go back in the books. A couple other storied programs, Shelby and Bellevue, squaring off this week. Now, from what I've heard, I believe the new field is ready this Friday. So just give me a little bit of a preview of what you're expecting from that matchup this year.
That's a rivalry that dates back 75 years to the Northern Ohio League when that was first getting started. And in the run-up to the final game at Skiles Field, we kind of looked back over tried to pick out 10 of the greatest games in Skiles Field history, which is no small feat because there's been a whole bunch of them. But Bellevue was on there quite a few times. I mean, that's a rivalry that those 2 teams. I don't think there's any love lost between the 2 of those towns or the 2 of those programs. And I expect. I mean, Bellevue is in that Sandusky Bay Conference, the really tough division of the SBC, and I mean, Shelby is kind of dominated here in the MOAC the last few years. There was a brief, I think, for 1 year they were an SBC member. Yep. But yeah, I mean, Shelby's evidently they found themselves a quarterback, a young guy, a freshman who's been throwing it all. I think he threw for 400 yards this past week. You know, the Ramsey kid, the receiver, I think he had 200 yards worth of receiving. Again, there's not going to be any shortage of athleticism on the field there, and it's a special night. I mean, they're dedicating a new field. I mean, the last time that happened in Shelby was 1928, so it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
Now, you talk a lot about the history, and you've been in the game for quite a while. Just do you have a favorite game that you've been at or that you've had the opportunity to cover?
There's been a lot. I think probably, though, it was very early in my time at the Mansfield News Journal where I was before I arrived at Richland Source. It was, I think, the fall of 2000, which would have been my first year, and Mansfield Senior and Marion Harding played for what was an Ohio Heartland Conference championship at the time. It predates the Ohio Cardinal Conference. Real close game. It came down to a late play, and it was probably the best high school football game, certainly the best regular season high school football game I've covered. I mean, senior high's state championship game. I mean, it's an overtime game. If they block a field goal at the end there, I mean, and if that ball takes a truer bounce, Angelo Gross goes 98 yards, and we're talking about senior high winning a state championship. It was that close. But those two certainly stick out. I mean, there's been a bunch. I mean, there's a lot of small school games too. I mean, Lucas playing for a state championship a few years ago, and really the state semifinal game down at Columbus DeSales when they beat Harvest Prep, and they basically drew up a play in the dirt that they'd never run before. And here we go. Let's go out and win a regional or a state semifinal game that way. That was fun.
Also, I mean, are there any other teams that you're looking forward to watching this year? I mean, even taking the Crestview Cougars, who could have a special season.
Yeah, I've seen Crestview a couple times this year. I was down in Howard on Friday when they played East Knox, and they do. Talking to Steve Haverdo afterward, both games. I mean, if you saw those games, Crestview was not flawless by any stretch. They turned the ball over a couple times. The first one, they turned the ball over a couple times against East Knox. But that said, they're winning by 35 points, and the clock's running in the second half. So, I mean, to do what they've done in these first 2 weeks and to do it without playing their best game, that's pretty impressive. I would think that they're going to certainly be a player in that, Region 22, isn't it, of Division 6? Carey's still there, and Carey's roughed up a couple teams. Division 6 is a monster this year. I mean, if you guys, for those who don't know, I mean, Versailles, who won a Division 5 state championship, is now in Division 6. Kirtland is a Division 6 team after losing to Versailles, right, in the Division 5 championship game.
Ranked too.
And Marion Local is the defending Division 7 state champ, and Marion's in Division 6 too. So they lost Coldwater. Coldwater moved up to D5, but it's a 3-for-1 swap, and all three of those teams are going to be players in the potentially in the state semifinals. All those teams could be battling for a regional championship.
Before we get Brian back in here, I got one more question for you. Kind of going back to that Shelby-Bellevue game. If Shelby can pull this out, they're going to be 3-0 in a season that some people expect them maybe not to be so competitive. What could a 3-0 non-conference schedule do for this Whippet squad just moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, that's talk to any coach about how important building a little momentum early in the season, especially with a bunch of young guys. I mean, Shelby lost a lot of guys. I mean, they lost a lot of guys. To have a freshman quarterback come in, and I suspect he's pretty confident right now after throwing for 400 yards the other night. They can certainly be a player in the MOAC. Now that Region 14 in Division 4 got a lot tougher too. West Holmes, who won a Division 3 regional title last year, they won Region 10 last year and played in the state semifinals. They dropped to D4. Cleveland Glenville moved. They were in Division 4 last year, but they were in a different region. Now they're in Region 14 too. So it's if you win that regional championship, you absolutely are a contender for a state title, I would think.
All right, you're going to be at the TYTI Tiger
wouldn't
game
miss that
on Friday
one.
night?
Yeah, wouldn't miss that one.
All right, you can catch Curt Conrad on the sidelines at a game coming up near you. But thank you for joining us, Curt Conrad.
Again, a pleasure to be here. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Now let me call that phone back up and get Brian here. Hey, Ski, our guest needs to take a leave now, so you can come on back in now. All right, goodbye.
You didn't even offer us a chance to talk to him.
I wanted to talk to Brian.
He said he was looking forward to talking to you in person. So
I can't wait to see him.
Yeah.
I don't know when he'll be back. That's the thing that worries me.
Oh, I see him in the shop back there.
Oh,
So maybe
Getting ready.
right now.
that takes the
yeah?
mystery away.
I found him, guys. Don't worry.
Hey,
Yay.
the bat phone was ringing?
Yeah.
Was that,
Yeah, we got
was that
you.
for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see.
So how we doing, Brian? You good? You good? Good break?
I think we're gonna be great. I think the rest of the show is gonna be great. I think I'm gonna take home my third viral video
Ooh, preview,
championship.
foreshadowment.
Speaking of, you're a big TikTok fan. You guys were cracking up there during the break while you're getting ready, weren't you?
It's actually Instagram Reels.
What a
I'm
weirdo.
not cool enough
Get
to
off
be
my
on
lawn.
TikTok.
Yeah,
yet.
come on,
Alright.
dude.
I'm not a cool TikTok guy.
Okay. Yeah, that's all right.
You guys know what's cool, though?
What?
Surprises. Always.
Magic.
When you're ready for something, it can be fun, but not nearly as fun when it's like, whoa, I totally did not expect that. Week 2 of the high school football season came, and there was a lot of wins that I think maybe took some people by surprise, or at least the way that the wins went down. So let's go around the room here. And I want to know, what surprised you, Hayden Gray? What did you see that went down that was like, man, oh man, didn't see that one coming?
For me, it is honestly, honest to goodness, even though it's the alumni, it's Braden DeVito and the Whippets hanging 53 on Lexington. It just took my breath away, to be honest. I had talked to one of my buddies who's a coach over at Shelby this year, just about what his emotions were before the game, what they're feeling, what they're thinking, and obviously you want to give the obvious answer. You're confident, but I don't know if anyone expected them to beat them the way they did, just with the questions they've had this year offensively, beating Madison by just 3 points in the last few seconds. So didn't expect them to explode for almost, for half 100 points. Braden DeVito, that's the kind of come-out game you need to have that confidence that Curt mentioned going into a game like Bellevue. So that score definitely took my breath away.
Yeah, kind of me too. I'm not going to lie. When I seen that they only had 10 points last week,
Yeah.
of course, that they struggled a lot offensively to go up for 50 burger plus on the road at Lexington,
Yeah.
that was pretty stunning. Travis, what took your breath away?
Mine's not a win, but actually a loss. It's Clear Fork Granville. If you look at the Fantastic 50 website, they break down every game in Ohio. They go strength of schedule and everything like that. And they had, before the game, Granville giving 20.5 points to Clear Fork. Clear Fork at 16-8. Granville last year went to a state Final Four in Division III returns. A lot of talent back, and they needed a kick return touchdown and one other score and a field goal just to defeat Clear Fork 16-8. And that just tells you how good of a squad this Clear Fork team can be, that they can go up to Division III, play one of the best teams, and stick with them on their home turf. It just impresses me more about the Clear Fork Colts.
So you're saying it's a good loss?
Yeah, like I said, there's not many things saying about a good loss, but Lucas Lett, week 1 against Clear Fork, and then Clear Fork against Granville, tells you that it's a very competitive squad that they have down there in the valley.
G-Man, is there such a thing as a good loss?
I think there actually is.
Oh.
I do agree with Travis.
You
I
guys
think
just
I
aren't
think,
clicking today. Storms, you aren't
I
clicking.
think Lucas's
Motivation
loss
builder.
last year that Clear Fork was a good loss. I think Clear Fork's a very good team. So I
Shows
agree
you
with
can
you
play
actually
with the
for
best.
once, Travis. I actually
Let's
agree
go.
with you, man.
Let's go.
But my
Appreciate
week 2 surprise is Mansfield Senior beating Hoover the way that they did. I knew Mansfield Senior was going to be one of the better teams in the area, but to hang a 42 piece on those puppies and just absolutely dominate them really from start to finish. But I think now next week is going to be the biggest test of the season for Mansfield Senior. I think they knew that before the season even started. It's kind of a big barometer. I don't know if I like their chances against a Massillon team, but this is a huge win, and I think this is going to be a big draw, too, to get fans to come to this game with a huge win that they had last week.
Question for you, G. Is this the biggest game Mansfield Seniors played since that state championship game?
Probably. I would
I
think
would
so.
agree.
I would think with
Again,
the
I
start
agree
that they
with you.
had.
Yeah.
I think with the start they had. I think if they would have lost last week to Hoover, maybe it's not. Maybe the fans don't show out. There's not that much school spirit. But now that they won and they kind of
The way they won.
they dominated them the way that they did, I think that this is going to be a packed house, and I think it's going to be a great environment for those Tigers.
My only concern is that Mansfield Senior was so good in the second half. I hope that they're not puffing out their chest too big this week.
Oh,
Right.
Chokey Bradley, though, he's not going to let that happen. I
Confidence
hope.
certainly riding high with these Tigers, rightfully so. I was at the game. They were awesome. in the second half. Dominating was truly the correct word. They got so many great pieces, and they're still figuring out how to use them. So the more experimenting that they do, I think the better. They can bring in 3-4 different kids into the backfield. We see the kid that dominates in week 1 with the 4 touchdown runs. He only got about 4 snaps at running back this past week. So that lets you know the caliber of athletes that the Tigers got right now. They actually they surprised me. I did not pick them to beat Hoover in my mind. And then as I started talking to some other media members before the game, I don't know. They just felt like the Tigers were going to be the big favorite, and they certainly proved it. So heading into Massillon week, I think that it's a good thing for them that they're 2-0. I just hope that they're not like, hey, we're the real deal now. Obviously, there's always work to be done.
Into
but
your
you're
own heads.
Chelke's the guy to keep
major
them.
roadblock for a team that has confidence is getting into their heads too much. Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
a team that I had a lot of confidence in heading into week 2 did not look so good. And not only did they not look good, they didn't look good at home in front of Aunt Jean's place. I was a little disappointed to see the fight that East Knox put up, or lack of a fight, if you will. So I got to hear from you, G-Man, about these Bulldogs. Was it just that Crestview is on a whole nother level in a different galaxy and planet this season? Because so many different holes for the Bulldogs. You know, last year was the year that East Knox had all the weapons back, just kind of similarly to what Crestview got going on this year. Do you think that there was just an uneven amount of talent, or did the Bulldogs lay an egg?
Well, I think Curt mentioned it, a little bit ago, that Crestview, they didn't play a flawless game at all. They had a couple turnovers. Caden Cunningham had a second fumble of the season. And, I mean, the Crestview had their own flaws, and they gave East Knox the opportunity in the red zone a couple times, and East Knox wasn't able to cash in with points at all. So I think Crestview going down there and dominating the way that they did, that's a huge surprise to me, and I'm riding the Crestview bandwagon. I think that they're one of the best teams in the area, but to beat an East Knox team in Chet Looney against, the rowdiest fans, I think, in the area, 35-0, I think that's a big statement for Crestview. And for East Knox, I didn't see that coming, to be honest with you. And with DeLauder, I thought, Crestview, they didn't play it back this year. It's early in the season, going up against Cole DeLauder, a guy with, his strength and his capability. They shut him down. He was nowhere to be found the entire game. He might have had maybe 2 runs of 5+ yards. I really didn't see much from him at all. The Crestview defense was standout. They stopped East Knox every time they had any opportunity and shut them down. It was a huge surprise to me for Crestview to go down there and shut them out 35-0.
Yeah, I thought at least East Knox was going to get on the board, that the offense would get moving. I was picking Crestview to win, and probably by a couple of touchdowns, but I never seen a shutout coming, not on the Bulldogs' home surface. All right, Storm, you're Mr. Agreeable for this category today, I see.
Yeah, I kind of took the cop-out answer, I won't lie. I said all of the above. I think, honestly, everything kind of surprised me. I would say more so Crestview holding East Knox to no points was the most surprising thing to me. But honestly, everything that you guys mentioned was kind of mind-boggling to me when I came back to the studio Friday night. If the Winford-Pleasant game would have ended at 2-0, that would have been it for me.
Yes.
But that did not happen, unfortunately, for me.
Winford had a chance to tie it late, too.
Had a chance to tie it, yeah. I think they needed, 20 yards maybe?
Yeah, if that.
Around that, yeah, maybe not even. But so I was kind of one of the last ones to put my answer. So I think it was kind of everything that you guys mentioned was a real big shock to me.
So you're agreeing with me, too.
Unfortunately, yeah.
That's two ski.
It's like the bizarro world out here this week.
No,
I don't know what's happening. Okay, but let's talk about really what's important. I mean, the victories on the field, that's all fun and games, but how are you looking? What's the drip game like? So the top jerseys in the area, where would you guys say that those communities are that have these teams that got some sick jerseys? Storm, go ahead and lead us off.
Well, I'm going to take mine back to Chet Looney Stadium. And I want to
Hey.
say the alternate yellow jerseys that the Bulldogs have. I'm not a fan of yellow, honestly. Like, almost not at all. I really dislike the color yellow. But I think that, I don't know, just something about those jerseys is just so cool to me. I don't really know what else to say, though. I had a lot of potential choices. And orange, a color I'm not very big fan of, but the Lucas all orange ones were really sick on.
Okay,
on
now you're
Saturday.
stealing my answer.
Sorry, I'm just saying the ones that I like. But no, I went with the Bulldogs, and I went with they're all yellows.
You're a fan of the color rush then, like
Yeah.
the top to bottom, all one big highlighter style.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I guess we'll set you up for those Cubs.
All right, we saw. Yeah, just stop laughing, Hayden. You're just angry today. You're mean, aren't you today? Jeez.
Is he gonna cry?
We were down on the sideline down at Clear Fork in the valley watching them warm up, and it's like a chrome orange that the Lucas Cubs have. It had a really cool shine off with the sunlight right on it. But even with the unveiling they did a whole video, kind of
video
like
was
Stranger
hard.
Things. That video was cool, wasn't it? But these are just slick.
It's like my eyes have to adjust when I look at them, though. There's a lot of color going on there.
Yeah.
But
Vibrant.
it works. I think it works for the Lucas Cubs.
That's not really their style, is to be
No.
like flamboyant and vibrant. But hey, it worked for a dub.
Yeah, sure.
Orange is such a Lucas color. Like that just like if you just had to pick a color for Lucas and like you didn't know what they were before, I feel like you would just pick orange. You would pick orange or dark green.
I'd go with
I
orange.
think so.
I'd go with orange.
But yeah,
orange,
it's just a very orange. They just are a very orange team.
Just an orange kind of town, Lucas.
It really is. It really is.
I bet the people, if you all ask them, like, what's your inner
favorite?
spirit? What's your aura? There's an orange type of community.
Orange. We're all orange here.
Okay, G-Man. What color? What do you have a aura color?
Yeah, do you have an aura?
Purple.
Do you-
Probably purple.
You
Purple's
give off
my
a
favorite
purple
color.
aura?
I actually like yellow. Now, I was going to use that Storm, but then you took it. But I want to just shout out East Knox, just the jerseys in general. They were all purple against Crestview,
Yeah.
and those were pretty sweet, too. But
Yeah.
the jersey that I chose was also an all-orange one that we just
Oh.
seen last week. It was Mansell Senior, though, this time. And they've worn that a couple times. I've seen them, and they just got some kind of swag to them when they wear these jerseys, Trav. I don't know what it is, man. So maybe the all-orange, but I am a sucker, too, for the color rush.
Yeah.
I think what you mentioned, Brian, the all same color, I think is super cool. So if you're rolling out, an all orange like Mr. Reese right there is, I mean, it's pretty. I mean, that's pretty. I like it too, and I like the brown with the white arms.
The orange
I think
is
that
so
complements
good. You see
it.
Effie James there just admiring it as well in that interview.
I like the orange with I think the white sleeves too make it so it's
Yeah,
just
if they-
not
yeah,
too
it's
much
too much,
orange.
yeah.
So I'm going with Mansell
point.
Senior's all orange.
Well,
Look at-
call
look at
me
Effie.
crazy. I actually like the Tigers road whites better. I think that those jerseys are the coolest ones that I've seen so far this year. I just kind of like the white, and then with the accent colors, those really do pop when the Tigers wear those. And I guess it doesn't matter so far this season what color they're in. They're vibing, they're winning, they're getting dubs, and that's all that matters for Tiger Nation. So we like your jerseys, guys. All right, we like them Tiger stripes. What do you like?
Well,
West Virginia
sorry.
football.
I'm one of those that
Come
needs
on, yeah.
naturally set up, but it's not so much the colors on this uniform that I'm going to pick. I think you could almost pick a variety of colors and it would still look good. It's more so the design, and I brought it up last week, and ever since I've seen them, specifically the helmets, but Worcester's new helmets
Okay,
that say
now
Woo.
you're
Yeah,
even
now I'm
angrier.
saying it
Now I'm
right.
even angrier at you.
But
Pick colors, man.
Yeah, I knew Travis wasn't going to be a fan. I don't know. There's just something clean
that is cool.
about the script, and I love that they have the numbers on the side of the helmet. And then I know at your game, obviously you were at their game Friday. They
Actually,
wore it.
I like that was really nice. It just it reminds me of Pitt.
Yeah.
Which, meh, but no, they wear it well.
This guy.
I think a sleeper though, Garrett. Now I don't know if we can talk about it, but haven't you told me Crestview has white pants this year too?
Maybe. Oh, we ruined it.
No, I don't think they do. I think they have red pants.
I would love to see an
They're
all
blue,
white
actually.
pants for them with the black helmet.
See, Crestview's all black. I didn't want to pick Crestview because I
Yeah,
feel like that's
I
all I
know.
pick on here. So,
It
but
is.
I mean, I like their jerseys
look
too.
clean.
They got some new white ones this year that they unveiled
That's
last
what
week.
it was.
But
They got new. Yeah.
yeah, but I believe they have red pants because I know I wore red pants with
That looked pretty
black
fresh.
when
Just
I
white
was
on
a
white
senior.
would be icy though.
But-
White pants, white
White on
jersey.
white.
would
Back
be
to the
icy.
helmet. You got to shout out number
Shannon
20
Taylor.
here, the Sean Taylor tape.
Yeah.
So shout out 20 from Woo.
Yeah.
because
Whoever
that's
you
hard.
are, respect.
No, I like the design and all that, but it's just too. You can't do it on
Sky.
Brawl Week. You can't do it on
Oops,
Brawl Week,
sorry.
guys. I mean,
Not
this is
sorry.
the colors right here. Old gold and blue, my friends.
Makes me want to get
What
sick.
is that jersey?
It's an old school Nike W.
He actually explained it like
Those
An
that.
old school Nike.
literal
Rhetorical.
little product
I
description.
tell you what it is. That's what it is. Brian,
a serial number on
let's,
that?
let's move this on.
Man,
Get
just
sick.
I just want to say a shout out to the new jersey designers. You look at some of the stuff
Yeah.
that we were wearing back in my day.
Oh,
not
yeah.
nearly as much flavor
like-
in the game
kinda like this.
these days. A lot more
Whoa,
plain.
that is-
So I think that
now.
the
Yeah, there we
jerseys they've gotten better as the years have gone along. All right. Video's clearly getting better week by week, day to day. There's a lot of content out there, millions and millions of videos uploaded to the cloud every single day. But there's just a select few viral videos that we really feel like you need to see. And for some reason, Storm seems to think that his videos are the best.
Every week.
You guys tend to agree.
I'm 2-0.
Let's see if you can take them
man,
down this
toast.
week.
I do kind of cheat though. I always have 2. So.
Yeah.
Double your chances. Smart. All right, lead us off then.
Yeah,
Give
let's
us
No,
see.
I don't. I can't lead
No?
us off. I can't. I can't.
You want
Travis
me to?
goes first. Travis goes.
This
first.
Okay, that's
Hayden
fine,
has
yeah.
seen this video. He knows what's going on. You three, I need your comments about this because just roll it. Guy got a.
Oh,
here's
I've
a
seen
donut.
this video.
He's got a donut.
Oh.
What's he doing with the straw? I mean, what's
No.
going on here? No, don't.
Here comes
no,
the
no,
beer.
No, it's a hot dog straw.
The
He
glitter.
can't even look.
That's disgusting.
He can't even look.
That's awful.
It's a
It's
flavor
at a
additive.
Yankees game also. It's a Yankees fan.
Now, unfortunately,
Mets.
like
It's all
you're
about the
way
Mets.
behind on this because this got circulated all last week. This video's
Yeah.
old at this point. I've
was
seen it
actually
too many
last
times.
Monday I put
But
it
I
out
gotta
there.
give a lot of love to the ingenuity, and I actually, G-Man, even though you had to look away, your face is making particular
might actually
scrunchy
get
locations. I think it might actually be kind of good.
Oh, Brian.
What?
I know you're not supposed to drink beer through a straw, but what if
Exactly,
it's
that
got just?
too.
I
The
mean,
hot
you're
dog.
taking a bite of the hot dog and then you're washing it down with the beer, right?
No.
That's like drinking hot dog water. Like legit boiled hot dog water. I feel like.
Have you tried it?
I would never.
See,
I was actually
what do they
offered.
say? Don't knock it till.
I was actually offered $50 to drink hot dog water yesterday,
What?
and I said no. I would
agree.
never.
I agree. I wouldn't have done it either.
paid $20.
No,
to drink hot
I
dog
would
water.
not. I would.
How much
I
did
would,
you have to drink?
I would throw up. It was
Dude,
probably
hot
not
dog
even a
water
shot
is
glass.
disgusting.
Oh my god.
No, I wouldn't.
Hot dogs are.
No, it's not the
pretty
hot dog
disgusting.
water. He's drinking beer.
Yeah, but it turns into
I think-
water when it
I
goes
think-
through the hot dog.
I think I'd rather eat a bug.
What?
Or
Turns
eat dirt
into
or
water
mud.
when it comes to the hot dog.
I don't even
It's
like
not a
hot dogs,
magic
but I would
trick.
not
so
rather
it's like
eat a
drinking
bug.
like water with like backwash in it.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Is it not though? Like you're getting the hot dog in the drink.
I already don't like hot dogs that much.
I don't like hot dogs, but I would still rather do that than eat a bug.
Next Monday,
I'd rather eat the
we're
bug.
bringing in some
I'd rather eat the
hollowed
bug.
out dogs.
That's right. It's
We're
like a
gonna
beer.
eat
the
I
stink
guess you
bug,
could say it's
Storm.
like a beer brat now.
No, it's not.
No,
soaked
it's
in
not.
beer,
Not
but
anything
even
like
that.
that.
uh,
You guys are wild.
Okay.
man.
That is gross.
I'm just impressed by the ingenuity. I thought that it was quite clever.
Must not
If
been a
I saw
thrilling
someone
game,
doing
I
that at a
guess.
game, I think I would throw up. I'd have to leave. I don't think I could sit there.
All right.
I mean,
Aiden,
even thinking about it makes me sick.
you got something better than that?
It's not as gross. It's kind of funny. We can just roll it. Yeah, it's funny because we have Papa Shot in our studio, and this takes us over to Papa Shot land, and it'll make a little bit of sense. To get that. It's the old. Remember the old shot on the iPhone commercial? If you can hear the jingle in your head, that's the song playing over it. But I saw that at like 1:30 in the morning, and it was honestly it was a little bit funnier then still, but
where'd
it's
you
still pretty
cackle
funny
out
now.
loud? Did you wake the wife up and she's
Yeah.
like, why? Yeah. That's
Now we've all been there,
Yes.
though, right?
yes,
Where
absolutely.
you do something that you regret, and then unfortunately a poor girl's face has to suffer.
Yeah, at least I got caught on camera.
getting hit in the face with like a basketball or football, that's the worst. That's the most
Oh.
embarrassing thing that can happen, I think.
Yes.
Especially when you do it to your loved one and you're trying to show off. Like, oh, look at this shot, babe.
I just like
That
the
was a
shot
Sean
on
Mary.
my
Hopefully
iPhone
that wasn't a
just made
first
me
date
laugh.
because there probably wasn't a second.
That was Joakim Noah shot for him, though.
I bet they've never been stronger. Might have bonded them. Doubtful. Gee, where are we going now?
And you guys brought like funny ones, and mine's kind of surreal and kind of like good
He's
feeling.
always bringing like
Good
the
vibe.
It seems as though
I kinda
almost
kill the
asked
vibe.
what the
Gee,
theme should be
you all
today,
right?
Garrett, and no one wanted to respond to me.
Well, I
so-
feel like if we make it a theme, then we're all gonna pick the same kind
What's
of
your
video. Then there's
Julian?
not.
What's your
Oh, well.
video?
I'll pick the best video.
Go ahead and roll mine. Mine's about this guy surfing down this wave.
Wow,
I
that's
saw that.
crazy.
Yeah,
That's
look
like
how
a-
big this wave
That's
is.
not even
Yeah.
a wave. That's like a
Now, have any of you guys
could've
ever
done it.
surfed?
no.
I could've
I
done
can't
it.
stand up on the board.
Yeah, no.
What is
know how
the
to swim.
what is it where they like Velcro it to your ankle and then it's like
Yeah,
the
they,
strings
like, strap
attached to it?
you,
Yeah.
See,
So
I
you
did
don't
that
lose it.
and I like almost drowned. So I was like very scared. But look up. I mean, this thing is huge.
That's like 150 feet.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, that's not even like a wave.
and look,
That's like
you can't even
And the,
see him.
guys
the
are
Dude.
tall.
cojones just to go out there and do that.
Dude, he's got a crowd too.
Now, if that wave crashes down on him, it's probably ending poorly.
But it didn't.
I bet you a concussion.
But he's
That's
so
why it's
cool.
viral.
Wow.
So sorry to kind of kill the vibe
that's-
here, but
that's
Where,
impressive.
where
cool.
was
It's not
this?
sad.
That's
It's
impressive.
cool.
You know where this was at, G?
It's got to be
oh, I do not. I
West
can probably
Coast
find out
somewhere.
though.
Somewhere in the Twitter sphere.
Yeah.
Hawaii, maybe. I don't know.
it's gotta be West Coast.
All right, yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think off San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine the fish that are all floating around just on that 150 foot just death trap.
Megalodon's under there.
Okay, we saved the best for last. Let's see what
You
Blenchie's
didn't have one
got.
this week?
I did not have a chance to pick one out
So Storm
today.
brought 2.
So
Well, I brought 2.
Luckily, you came prepared.
Alrighty. Well, I don't know which one's gonna play first, but we'll just we'll take a look right at it. Oh yeah, slipped on banana.
What is?
It's like a gift.
Oh man, that's awesome.
That one sucks, Storm.
That one does not suck. I like that one. The second one is way better, I think.
You better
We
make
need
up for
sound
it.
for the second one, I'm told.
Yeah, we need sound for the second one.
So let's all quiet down. Let's hear this.
Mine's a little bit. This is a little bit different. I don't think you guys are gonna expect this one out of me for this
I
one.
like it.
I think you guys are gonna like it. It's different.
I
It's
hope.
not my normal type of humor.
It's not what we were watching.
It's actually
earlier.
like not even a funny one. It's like a calming, relax. Let's
Oh.
calm down and chill out. Because I know I sent in a lot of ones and everyone's like, "Oh, I don't get why that's funny."
Get some more, dude.
I like these satisfying things where they make it perfect.
Look at this. This is the best part. This little pattern he makes.
I just don't have enough
Look at
patience.
this
but
pattern.
this is-
Look. Ah, I got you guys.
I knew it was too good to be true.
The song is Symphony of the Night. It's that's what.
Oh,
comes up
yeah,
when- yeah.
I knew it was too good to be true.
I was laughing at that one.
I genuinely wanted to see
I
the
did
finish.
too.
Oh,
I'm
no.
kind of mad.
Ruined it.
I did too, but I laughed really hard at the lobster, at the blue lobster.
I
It's
don't want to
pleasant.
watch anymore because now I want to
Yeah,
see
so,
it.
so much great work, delicate fingers, and I bet this turned out lovely. But all we'll ever
And
know is
then lobster.
It's one of those dumb ones where the baseball comes back and scares
Yeah.
you. Come on, Storm.
What a little cute guy that is.
so we win a lobster at the end there.
Now I'm irritated.
Well, speaking of winning stuff, game shows. They be handing out prizes all the times, guys. And I grew up on game shows. It's something that it's one of my little delights on TV. When I get some time to myself, though, if I'm not watching sports or some type of a documentary, I do like a good game show every now and again. So I guess I'll just go first.
Go for it.
My favorite game show of all time, and I hear that they're still doing it, even though I date all the way back to the Regis Philbin years, is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And why it's so great, bro, when I would watch this with my family growing up,
Oh, when it was on
I
ABC,
felt
yeah.
the intensity
Yeah.
of the bright lights. When it would start getting
Beads of
up
sweat.
to the, 200K, 500K, there's the lifelines. Like, which person do I pick
Yep.
that I think will know this answer? Do I make a phone call? What if my friend doesn't pick up? What if he's out having a good time right now? There's just so many different things that go into it. Great questions, great hosts, and just the environment there, the way that they have the lights all come
Ambient.
down on you. Woo, getting goosebumps just thinking about it, fellas. It's hard to top that one.
You remember watching the first Millionaire win?
I do.
How he got him all right, and then he used his lifeline to phone a
that's
friend.
cool.
And he called his dad's like, "Oh, I just called you to let you know
Just
I'm
so
going to
you
win $1
know.
million." Place went nuts, and he's like,
What a
"Finally."
savage.
Yeah,
Shot
it's
it.
like mic drop moment.
Yeah.
That's a savage
Actually,
moment, dude.
my family, we got the board game. So on family vacations, we'd spend like a night, one person be Regis Philbin. We'd have a blast doing it, but it was fun. I think I still have it somewhere.
And have you guys seen the movie Slumdog Millionaire?
Yes.
New.
No, I don't watch movies.
No.
Yeah. Great. Classic.
Sorry.
One movie of the year.
Yeah, right?
But you'll spend time watching lobsters that scare you at the end of ASMR.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's the actual best game show ever, Storm?
Mine's Deal or No Deal. Mine's
good one.
actually Celebrity Match Game, but the old Celebrity Match
Oh,
Game.
Gene Rayburn.
Where they
Ooh.
could smoke and drink on the
Yep.
show. That was a lot of fun. No, but I picked Deal or No Deal because I think it's the only game show where it is literally 100% luck. Like there is absolutely
Yeah,
no
it's
skill.
true.
That's true.
And I just think it's honestly kind of funny. I love Howie Mandel. I think he's hilarious. But I also think, it's just funny how, comically low your chances of actually winning $1 million are.
Yeah.
So I just enjoy watching it a lot. I think it's a lot of fun.
And Press Your Luck also is just
Oh, I love
100%.
Oh,
me
my
and
God.
They brought it
going
back.
nuts
It's on.
about Press Your Luck.
They have it on ABC again.
We watched the episode of it last week where
It's
the
great.
guy had 800 grand and he
No.
decided
He
to
got
press
whammied?
his luck and he
No.
got
He got
whammied.
whammied?
And I felt for him.
Not the whammies.
Yeah, they brought back $100,000 pyramid or $50,000
It's all
pyramid. They got
back.
all,
It's
they
fun
got all
to
the
see
new
these
stuff
come
back,
back.
which is great.
Yeah.
Match Game 2. I think
Celebrity
they have
Match
back. Yeah.
Game. The old Celebrity Match
yeah.
Game was my
And
favorite.
they
I
should
watch
they
Game
should
Show
let him have
Network
some
with it on.
cigars again. Like, why can't we do that anymore?
Cancer.
Can't do it.
Oh.
Cancer, that's bad
Oh, yeah,
for you
just
now,
vape, kids. It's a lot healthier for you.
Right, yeah.
Just water vapor.
All right, Travis, what's your fave?
It's a classic. Price is Right. Plinko, Hole in One or Two.
Travis definitely never has watched this during work. Lunch breaks.
With you and Jory.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you very
know,
much.
hey,
But
hey.
hey,
Oh, I love
Plinko's the
Plinko.
best one.
Oh,
yeah.
10 grand.
I mean, that Cliffhanger, the yodeler, going up,
Oh, that one
that's,
sucks.
so much. I love that. And that's another thing. My grandma's house, she had a board. You can actually get the Price is Right board game
That's pretty awesome.
and play games on there, which is awesome.
It's all about
That's
that
a classic.
showcase showdown, man.
Oh, absolutely.
I can't believe how Drew Carey, how old he looks on the new ones. Have you guys watched it recently?
And thin.
Yeah,
He's lost a
thin,
lot
and
of
he's
weight.
got a long white beard and
Oh.
platinum white hair now.
It's giving me David Letterman vibes sometimes.
I like
Okay.
Drew Carey though.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a long time
He
now.
has.
Yeah,
Isn't
he
that
took over
crazy?
for Bob Barker.
He's still the new guy though.
Because that was
Right?
true. I thought that this was going to be a Bob Barker one.
No.
This looks like
This
it's
was
the
the
90s.
Christmas episode.
10 years? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be
about.
more.
Probably. Wow,
Have your-
more.
Have your pet spayed or neutered. Make sure that.
Hayden.
So I went with Family Feud.
Okay.
I think
That's a good one.
I didn't
Another
want to
good
take
one.
too much of G-Man.
Good one.
But Travis, you'll like the pictures I chose for
Oh,
it.
Juju.
But
Steve Harvey's a good host, though.
This show's been hysterical. I love whether it's celebrities or just random families that come on it. The answers are really comical, and it makes me laugh. So it's one of those that's kind of a mix of, do you actually have knowledge or did it just come into your head? And then this was a random
This was
one.
good.
I like
That's
that.
Yeah.
guy.
This is
Yeah.
one of my
Oh, yeah.
favorites, dude.
I hate
This-
that guy though. I'm not a fan of that guy.
These pictures are a little bit scary to me. Not the most flattering angles of him, but I can always remember when we'd go over to my dad's as kids or after school, we would be watching Cash Cab, and he's kind of what got me to start watching it. I don't believe it's still going on, and haven't watched it since I was a child, but it was entertaining watching people get in, and then they turn the lights on. And
Yeah,
they're
it was
like, oh
random.
my gosh, even though
You're on the cash cab.
they've got to know that they were entering the Cash Cab, but
I thought the best episodes were when it was really cold out because they're in New York City. I mean, it gets icy
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
there. And then they'd be dumb people. And so they're legit just trying to get a ride. Nope. You got to get out the cash
better-
cab because
yeah.
that's strike 3, buddy. And it's like, okay. Like,
yeah, see ya.
taxi. They had their chance, though. All right, G, where are we going with this one?
I'm going Family Feud. Now, you guys, there's some of these like you guys are just naming off that I've never even heard of.
Wow.
Like,
Mike?
the one you
Celebrity
mentioned,
Match Game?
I don't even know what that is.
$1,000 pyramid.
I don't know what that is.
Wow, really?
What are some of the...
Saturday
I don't. I
mornings,
guess
it's
I just
the
live on
old
a
In the
rock.
Network
90s, like the
shows.
Saturday mornings,
GSN.
they'd have all that.
You don't
before,
just
like,
ever turn
yeah,
on the
Game
Game
Show
Show
Network.
Network? It's never on in like the background?
My
No, because
grandparents-
my dad realistically only watches Family Feud if we watch a game show. So that's
I bet
why
your dad loves Family.
he loves Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
Steve Harvey.
And I love
guy.
Steve Harvey too. So
Maybe
it's
get
not
your
even
family
about
on
the
the show,
game. It's just
G-Man.
about watching Steve Harvey because I think he's hilarious.
You ever seen that clip where it's like there's a robber breaks in, names something that he doesn't want to see, and then it's naked grandma the person answers, and he just goes
looks,
silent
yeah,
for
the-
10 minutes
No,
straight.
I've never
You've
seen
never
that.
seen that clip?
Yeah.
That clip's hilarious.
But I've heard of the one you said, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I've heard of it. I
hope
never
so.
It's like an
watched it.
episodic television show now. They have it on daily.
Dude, I woke up and turned Sports Center on until I went to sleep.
Well,
Yeah.
So
yeah, but...
so Family Feud's my pick.
Still
Oh,
like pop
then,
culture.
what was it? Stump the Schwab? That was on
Nope.
ESPN.
Don't know what that
I
is.
don't know what that one is. You know what I hate? You know which one I don't like? The one on ESPN where they all are like have their different colored points or whatever.
Around the horn?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get that one. I don't get
Oh,
how you
it's like-
win.
It's just
It's
it's
subjective.
up
Yeah,
to
they just
the
use points
it's up
to
to
make
the
it look
moderator
better,
who
but
gets
it's- yeah.
points.
yeah, I don't like that one very much. I don't get it.
If you guys got to go on a game show, what do you think you'd have the best chance to win?
Are you solo on this game? Sorry.
I
Or do
think
you
it
have a
would. I
team?
think I would have a pretty good shot, realistically, at Oh my gosh! You know which one I forgot? What's the one with Wayne Brady?
Oh,
Let's make a
Let's
deal.
Make a Deal.
I want to go on Let's Make a Deal, and I'll win that one. I love that
And
one.
you're gonna take what's behind door number 2.
I would always take door number 3. That would be my door.
I know a game that Jory would like to be on, and that's Name That Tune. Remember that the old one? I can name that in three notes, 4 notes, whatever. She says no, but you know.
When I watch the game show, and I haven't watched it in a while, but Chain Reaction, I don't know. If
I
any-
love
Yes.
that show.
Yeah.
I love
I
that
feel like I get it before them every single time. I'm just waiting for my
Well,
shot.
what about
I don't know how,
what
it
about the
takes.
greats that are still on in prime time? Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy.
L and L.
I don't
No,
understand
Wheel
any
of
of those
Fortune's
two.
elite.
Jeopardy? I got no shot.
I know.
Yeah, I couldn't win it, but that's a great show. I don't know what they're talking about.
Wheel of
but-
Fortune, though. Me and my sister, we did grow up watching that, and we'd go back and forth. She was kind of a G at it. Me, not so much.
Would we be able to win at Family Feud? The
Yes.
5 of us.
Oh,
as
are
a
you
team?
kidding?
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be easy.
Yes.
We should do media
we've
Family
got it.
Feud.
Yeah.
Us versus.
Us versus the Richland Source crew. Family Feud. Kurt's
like,
sticking one
yeah,
finger in the
I
air.
don't
I think they got it, but that'd be fun.
All right, I think there's only one thing left to do. Let's show you what we got coming up this week.
Awesome.
Hey, how about that football schedule? It's big, but before we get there, we got some soccer and volleyball. This is what I'm going to do. You guys can see all the games up there, so I'm going to go around. Each of you pick one game that you're involved with, and let's talk about it. Travis, you go first.
I'm gonna pick the Saturday try match: Lucas versus Hillsdale versus South Central. Once again, get to see Shelby Grover go at it against a couple friends of ours from Hillsdale, Belle Doughton, Taylor Morgan,
They'll be
and
there.
then South Central as well. We've got a big following up there, so I look forward to calling that with the boys on Saturday morning after a long Friday night of football.
I'll wake you up.
Thank you, buddy.
Hayden, what do you think?
I'm gonna not stray away from football. Actually, I'm gonna go with Colonel Crawford East Knox. I'll be producing that game, and I'm interested to see how East Knox bounces back. Colonel
Word.
Crawford is no slouch, but being back at Chet Looney for the second week in a row, you know, coach is gonna have him ready to go. So I'm really intrigued by that.
A lot of games still out there. What are you picking, Storm?
Oh, I think I'm picking Highland versus Crestview. I think this is going to be a really good test for Crestview. I think this is Highland's just. I think they're going to be really good, man. I really think Highland's really good, and I think is that one at Crestview? At Crestview. Gosh, I just love going to Crestview so much. I love their field and I love their lights.
All right, so there's the Cougars, but behind door number 2, G, you can have which game?
I'll go tomorrow. Galleon, I believe we got moved to Galleon Clear Fork. We were at
Yeah.
Northmore East Knox.
Yes, you did.
That's going to be with Storm and Mackenzie Weaver on the call. But I'll be running the camera, so glad to see some MOAC volleyball. But I know one that I won't be at, that I'm keeping an eye on, is that Galleon Upper Sandusky, and you'll know why if you watch my show here in the next couple of days of why I'm watching that game.
Okay.
I gotta go with Maslin at Mansfield. Come on,
Yeah,
baby.
look
They
at
gonna
you
pack them
with the big
stands.
game.
I heard that they've already pre-sold 7,000
Oh,
tickets.
7
The
now.
place holds less than 11K. So if they can just get
They
a
will.
handful of people to come out on game night, it's gonna be the first time that stadium full for a Mansfield senior game since I don't even know when. Since
last
Effie
time
played.
Maslin's been there.
We take a video of like the crowd. I just want to.
You
see
got to
what it
think
looks
they'll
like,
be lined
though.
up on the street, that fence line beyond
Yes.
the
Yeah, the-
west end zone.
Dude,
Yeah.
and that's concrete. It's gonna be loud.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome.
The Maslin Green playoff game that I always talk about there last year was the fullest I've ever seen it, and I hope that it is even more full this Friday. So hey, you gotta let us know.
It should be. I'm going to be out there. I'm going to get my drone out. That way you can get some cool aerial coverage. But I will be walking around with my phone pregame. I'll make some cool shots just of the amount of human beings.
TY Tigers got a chance to make themselves known in the whole state if they can pull this one off. I think
It
they got a
would be
shot. I think they got a
huge.
legit shot. I do.
Glad
do.
to hear it.
West Virginia's awesome, guys.
Hey, I'll be there. It's Brawl Week.
Brawl week.
Rip on me as much as you want, but it's Brawl Week.
West Virginia.
Backyard brawl.
Go Pitt.
Yeah, show of hands. Who's got Pitt? And
like
Brawl
Kenny Pickett.
haters. Well, I have to like Kenny Pickett now that he's a Sealer, but when he
But
was
he
in
went to
that
Pitt.
other-
This guy.
You can't. You went to Pitt.
Went
You
to
can't.
Pitt.
You can't root
He
for a
was
Pitt
giving- he's
player on the
giving you all
Brawl
this
week.
crap about Joe Burrow. And, well, I gotta like him even though he
Storm,
went to
it's
Pitt.
Brawl week.
Brawl
Brawl
week. Sorry,
week.
everyone.
Come
It's
on.
Brawl week.
I'll be there.
Give me
Can't
a
wait.
laugh here. Give me a
National holiday.
Guess they gotta go.